Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a City. I can't believe it. It's episode 175. I had no idea that we were this close to a world tour. If you're a new subscriber or if you've forgotten, we do a world tour every 25 episodes. It's usually a small one on like the 25 and the 75 and a bigger one on the 50 and the 100s. This is what the whole world looks like in the overview map, a program that allows us to see the whole world, you know, with no render distance limit. And it's quite unbelievable to think that we came from this. Pooh! That's the first overviewer sort of save of the world that I done, where I just had some roads, a few of them I thought, oh, I'll try to see if I can view the whole island from afar, and I found the overviewer program and got used to using that, and then boom, that's what we have now. Isn't it insane? Isn't that crazy? I mean, we've got the submarine, our newest addition over here, which is still being completed. That looks absolutely sick up in the corner there. And can you imagine when we get a little bit of a naval port here, or a little bit of a military base? It's going to be such in a brilliant location for it. I also find it funny that we didn't have this mountain at the beginning. I totally forgot that we didn't have it there. It was a mountain, but it wasn't quite as pronounced as that. We had to change that and edit that ourselves. I think we've done a pretty good job of actually blending that in to the rest of the world quite well. I can't wait to get trees. You know, it's weird to think of what I'm excited for, and I'm excited for trees. But getting a load of trees all over this mountain will honestly change the entire look of that top half of the map. It will make it so much more fuller looking. I don't want to do it yet because a lot of the space we're actually sort of terraforming and using, like the university over here. At the beginning, the university didn't even have a flat spot to be able to be built on. And then we flattened out a little spot and we built the observatory bit, and then we flattened out more and built some more buildings around it, which is why I haven't done any trees and stuff yet around here, because I just don't know if I'm going to place roads up there or extra buildings or just extra bits sort of hidden around, because then I have to remove the trees, and it just gets a little bit of hard work having to take things away that we've put effort into doing. So why not wait until we know that nothing else is going there and then build all the trees afterwards, or place all the trees down afterwards. I think it looks so cool. Look at this from afar, hey? How cool does that look? Now, this tower still needs a little bit of work on it. We don't have a top on it. I want to put some more details, like cobblestone walls, just to sort of, I don't know, add a bit more depth and shadow to all of this. And then once we get these buildings around the side and a concrete floor, it's going to look really, really cool. I also want to put some more detail on this building. When you're in Minecraft, it actually doesn't look that bad. But when you're in the overviewer, it's sort of, it removes the textures from some of the blocks until you zoom all the way in, and you can start to see, you know, the textures of this andesite here. But when you're zoomed out, it's very plain looking, and it makes this look a little bit boring, a little bit. It looks modern because of the textureless blocks, but it doesn't have any defining features as such down the walls. So I want to try somehow, I don't know yet on how I'm going to do that, but I need to do that. And obviously a fence all the way around, a road that leads down to here. You can see where we've carved out, ready for it to go, and then a tunnel that goes through this mountain and joins up to there. That's the plan with that. Most of you should know these plans, because it wasn't too long ago that we done a sort of planning episode. But it's always good to sort of recap on things here and there. The airport, obviously, I really like. I still want to do something with the grass here. I don't know what. Maybe make a very light grey block, like lighter than the ones that we have going around the outside here, to sort of square it off. But I'm not really too worried about that. I have no idea what I'm going to do up here. We actually have a road leading up here and a tunnel that's relatively finished, apart from some holes here. But I don't know what to put at the top here. I think I want to continue the snow down to this area and just have a bit of a flat area of snow, where we get a little bit of a sort of base camp for the mountain. I think that would be really nice to do relatively soon as well. I think that would really make a huge difference. The center of the city, I love. I've grown to like the gherkin building that we've got here. Did we call it the gherkin or the pickle or something? I think we ended up calling it the pickle. It was inspired off a building like the gherkin. But we sort of put our own spin on it. I actually like it in the overview, I think, more than I do in Minecraft itself. I think it blends into the city a little bit more. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. As you can see, I mention this every now and again, but it's hard to explain it without having this view. My idea for the city was basically like a pyramid shape. So at the center of the city is where our tallest buildings are located. And then the further out towards the edge of the island you get, the lower the buildings get. So you end up with a pyramid effect of the most advanced buildings, you know, the most economically wealthy buildings towards the middle. And then as you get further out, it's a little bit less developed, and you get to see a little bit more of the older buildings, hence the brick factories and the brick hotels here and stuff like that have been here for a little bit longer than this centre star, which has obviously been knocked down and replaced with taller buildings here. One being in progress here with the crane. Still need to do a base of the crane because it looks ever so unstable there. And I think I might take this grass away and just extend this to all be dirt like we've got underneath here, and make the workstation a little bit bigger because it seems to be, to me, a little bit crammed down there. We've got the stadium. Obviously, I just set it back to its what I call a default state, which is the football stadium with the running track around the outside. That's my favourite aesthetically viewing one. My favourite one overall, I think, is the monster truck one. I really, really like that. But aesthetically wise, I think it works really well with the football pitch. Still got a lot to do on the pier here. This has been really forgotten about and pretty much abandoned. I need to get back to that and dress it up. I think if we go back to this, we'll probably change a fair bit of it as well, because I think our building skills have increased since we first built that. So I would like to change that up a little bit and, I don't know, just make it a little bit better. This is totally wasted space. I want to change that into something a little bit more useful. On this side, we also want to extend the sand a lot, don't we? We want to make a bigger beach for the back of these houses here. It gets a little bit too thin there, and I don't really like it. It looks like the water would actually come up to the back door when the tide's in. Cruise ship, the cargo port looks great from up here as well as the cargo ship. The racetrack looks cool. We still need to finish off a little bit of a tunnel here. But as you can see, the green space, the available space to build on, is becoming less and less. I still think we've got a fair few episodes left to go on this before we could even just do interiors to the buildings and stuff like that. It looks a lot fuller than what it actually is. When we get into Minecraft, which we will in a minute, you'll notice that when we fly around, there's still a lot of space. So we can just build little parts in here and there. You know, this is actually a lot of space here. We can put a building here, a building there, 3 or 4 buildings there. You know, that alone is 10, 15 episodes. So I would say, potentially, we have another 100 episodes here. At least another 100 episodes to get it finished how I would want to get it. But what a difference, hey? No extra islands around the outside or nothing. Anyway, let's jump into Minecraft and have a closer look. Alright, so we're back in the city itself. This was the busiest looking area when you see it in the overview map. The skyscraper sort of complex here. And as you can see, when we walk around, there's still a lot of green space. Yes, sure, we can't fit a building in here, but we can certainly do a lot of aesthetical work. Cool trees and benches, walkways, hidden alleyways down between buildings. That takes a lot of time, but it's going to make a huge difference at the very end of the series when hopefully the whole city's completed. Having those extra little secrets and walkways are going to improve the look of the map tenfold. Having just buildings there is one thing, but having all the detail and trees and aesthetics is a whole other deal. See, I haven't got an entrance on this or anything. I think this was going to be a little bit of an underground car park for them, wasn't it? But we never actually got around to doing that. I might have to do that, a little underground car park under there. I think I totally forgot about it, in fact. This is just one of my favourite parts of the map. Having a road that goes on the bottom, a bridge that goes over the top of that, and then the elevated railway go above that. And how cool are the train stations now that we've got those in? I think it makes the whole railway make sense for, what is it, like 150 episodes. There was just no way to get up onto them. I know there's 4 or 5 ways that we can, and it really helps. It's little details that just improve the whole look of it. We can get something in here. I don't think I can fit a skyscraper in there, but we could certainly fit some sort of longer building that's a little bit shorter in there. Some ideas might need to be thrown about for that. I just like flying around and coming across things that I haven't been to for a little while, like the skate park over here. This was a really fun one to make. It was tricky to make. It was very, very difficult to make, because we have these are modded blocks that. Oh, it's the bike making a noise. Because they're like sloped blocks, but you can get them at different sort of angles of slopeness. And it took us ages to work out what the sort of as close to perfect sort of half pipe ramp would be. But I think this is really, really cool as a sort of single set piece for Minecraft. Yeah, with all the grinding rails and everything. I like it a lot, especially opposite here. I still want to do more houses around here. This is the sort of, we keep calling it the slums, but it's sort of the more poverty area. You know, criminals, because of they can't get money, they can't get jobs, they turn to crime around here. Hence the gun shop that we built relatively recently. There's a couple of criminals outside there. We've got a copy of Grove Street that wasn't built all that long ago either here. I do like that. I always get that sort of nostalgic feeling when I come down here. But there's still a lot of space under here, which is completely wasted. We need to build nice short houses like we have around here, all underneath the bridge. Maybe even get another sort of, even if it's a smaller alleyway that goes down here to more houses. We could fit another 6 to 8, maybe 10 houses in that area alone. Yeah, definitely. Over this side, we could fit some small houses as well. But we need to be careful on how far we go, because we're breaking into the hospital area here. And we don't want the hospital area to be in the middle of a slum. So we're going to have to somehow very quickly transition from the poverty area into a little bit of a better area. We might do that with a tree line or a car park or something like that, just to transition it in. Also, I need to connect this road up because there's no actual way to get onto there. Now we need to have a road that either joins straight up into there or that comes down here and joins up into this one. Also need to sort of either cut or turn that or do something with this road here because I hate that. I might turn it left and have it go to that mountain. It'll go through the mountain, through the mountain to the military area, the naval base or military base it will have. That would be sick to have. That would be a really long tunnel. It'll be by far the longest tunnel that we'll ever have in this world. Yeah, cracking idea. I wondered what we were going to do with that. This world tour is already helping us out for the future. So this world tour isn't going to be a building by building world tour. We leave that to the big numbers. We don't need that to the sort of 25 and 75 ones. On these ones, I just like to do a little bit of a fly around, gain some ideas, see what you guys like. You guys haven't seen these, some of these buildings for months maybe, if you've been watching since the very beginning. So being able to come round again and see some of these will be really helpful. We might also see some things that we might be able to improve upon, and some buildings that we go, you know what, we could do better on this. We should come back to this and retry it. The factory area, I really like. I think this is a really underrated area. It's not an area that I ever see enough of. But with the cargo port and then these two factories here, it just looks really, really nice. There's so much going on here. We've got vehicles and no parking zones. So much detail has gone into these old-looking buildings. It's crazy. You know, we've even got little sort of fogged up and cold up windows over here, you know, where they haven't been cleaned for a while. And the garage doors with numbers on them. Really, really cool. I love that. This is wasted space. I don't know what I'm going to do down here. This is too thin to do anything meaningful with. I can't fit any buildings down. It might just have to be a tree line. But how about this? A tree line that would be similar to like the palm trees down the middle of the road by the town hall. But because it's so close to the pollution of the factories, they're all dead. There's no leaves on them anymore. They're only these spikes. You get a similar effect off playing City Skylines. If you remember that series, whenever you built trees or planted trees around the factory areas, the industrial areas, they all died. And you just had sort of the branches left. That would be really cool. Hey, a rare pig. We don't get any real wildlife on this city. There's another one there. It's really rare, though, to find pigs or anything in this world. Yeah, that's a cow, by the way. That is because of the train mod that we have. It wrecks some of the animals. Only sometimes. If I log out and log back in again, they would fix themselves. It's really, really strange. Here's the stadium up close. This was done on a separate series, away from Let's Build a City, but in the same world. We've done this with a few series now. The private island on the west side, the prison on the east side, the cargo ship on the south side, the submarine that we're doing at the moment on the northeast side. So as well as the actual city series, we have these sort of bonus ones going on at the same time. That's really cool. I like that with the advertising boards under there. This came together a lot faster than I thought as well. By episode 5, we nearly had this sort of whole shape and everything built for the stadium. It was one of those really crazy fast ones, thanks to World Edit mostly. Let's head over this way, because this is an area, the actual beach area, which would be the most popular area for citizens. It's probably the least viewed area for us, because a lot of it is built, so we never really come round here anymore too often. But if we come down here, we've got a main supermarket with the fuel station opposite that went through a move. It used to be here, I think, and we ended up moving it from there to give us more room for the Minimap supermarket there. But this is a really cool area, because as you can see, there's very little green left. Like, there's no green here at all of the original grass. It goes from the beach into the road, into the concrete and the buildings. That's what the whole city will eventually look like, you know, with very little grass areas apart from where we want them. We've got the cinema on the front here, Atom Cinema. I think that's really, really cool, especially with all the lights on. Makes it look really bright. The Pig's Restaurant. We've got these... Ooh, lag spike. Got these big boulders up at the beach here. These boulders will also extend around the front when we eventually do that as well. We sort of done a test beach area. That went really well. I really like this with the umbrellas and the lifeguard towers and everything like that. It's a really strong looking area. Oh yeah, and the helicopter down on the beach there. Sea defense helicopter, whatever you call it. Yeah, police station over here. Another restaurant down here. KFC over there. You can imagine it would be really, really busy. An arcade. I keep getting asked about arcades. You should build an arcade, you know, with the claw machines and the coin pushers and stuff that you always get near a beach town, don't you? At least in the UK. I'm sure you do in the US as well. I would love to, but in Minecraft, to this scale that we're trying to keep our buildings to, it's really hard to make a coin pusher look like a coin pusher, or a claw machine to look like a claw machine. From the outside of the building, you know, down here, we could do a little arcade. Sure, but when you go into it, it's not going to feel... You're only going to know it's an arcade if you saw the episode, or if you've got a really imaginative brain and managed to work out what I build in here. But yeah, it's really tough. It'd be really tough to do. To the hotel down here. Custom KFC poster that we made there for that. A little bit of an industrial estate down here where we'll have, I don't know, like the Smiths where I work, and B&Q and an Asda or M&S or something like that on those buildings. Really like this area as well. These are sort of the older brick style buildings, like we said at the beginning of the episode. You know, the further out you get, the older and the smaller the buildings get. So this is why we've got a very sort of traditional brick buildings around here, but more modern skyscrapers towards the middle. Our most recent building, the clothes shop that we finished off last episode. And then heading up the mountain here. I know I've missed a bunch. In fact, we'll just fly over the housing estate first. I know I've missed a bunch of stuff around the city, but for a more in-depth world tour, go back to episode 150 was actually a proper good world tour. One of my favourite, I think, episodes in the series for world tours. Okay, so this is a sort of more of a residential area with your local shops and stuff. Still got a lot to do down here. A lot of spaces for houses left. But we've got a sort of mix of newish looking houses and sort of traditional old brick ones. But we're trying to keep a very similar style around here, which is why all the roofs have a grey texture, either the andesite looking ones or the stone brick ones, with quartz edging on some of them. We're trying to keep that sort of similar colour palette around here, so when it's completed, it looks like an actual estate. If you use different coloured blocks for all of the roofs, when it's finished, it'll look a little bit jumbled. We want the same colour all the way through, so it actually looks like a little bit more of a district, if you like, and a primary school on the end there. I really like these town buildings, these sort of townhouses, or we're using them as commercial buildings down here, with a post office and a little corner shop there. I think this one's got a little Coca-Cola machine inside of it as well. Yeah, even a food vendor that we can buy food off and stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Coca-Cola machine. Boop. Hey. Oh, we can take that down. That's where we did have a poster or a painting there. And then we changed that painting to McDonald's logo. And I forgot to remove them from some of these buildings. So when I see them, I do try to at least remove them. But yeah, I want to get more of these because obviously we need more buildings on this back side. So more townhouses down, or commercial buildings down on the other side, facing back to back. And the same down here as well. And I think I want to extend these ones probably all the way. I think it would look sick to walk down this road. And on the left-hand side, just have buildings all the way down, like roughly at these heights. You know, staggered heights all the way down. I think it would look really, really strong. But anyway, let's just head up the mountain real quickly here, with a winding road that goes all the way up. These are going to be our more larger houses, our more mansion style ones. We've got one up here. They're not going to be quite on the scale of Let's Build a Mansion, the old series that we used to do, but they are going to be bigger than the houses that we've got down here. And on the other side, we've got more modern houses where we've got your Minecraft favourite sort of style houses, you know, with the sort of square style pools on the roof and stuff like that. You know, these more modern ones up around there. Let's head up to where we said that we were going to put the snow on the floor. The airport's obviously here as well. But on the snow on the floor here, I think would be really, really cool to make a little bit of a base camp. We're high up in the mountains still, so it's not like having snow on the floor would look odd. And I think even in the overviewer map, it would make sense to have the snow come down a little bit further. It looks a little bit too pointless at the moment, really. And I know you guys have said that quite a lot as well. But if we just extend the snow out around here, you know, we tidy up the grass so we haven't got these square edges. We tidy up all the snow around here. We bring the snow down further down the mountain on that side. I think it would make a lot of sense. See the difference that we've got now that we've got trees on this mountain, on the snow part? It looks so much more completed than just a blank area like that. See, just a few trees scattered around makes a huge difference. Really like this sky lift too as well. Very happy with that. Airport's a really cool area because obviously we've got working planes and working vehicles in this world. They're absolutely massive though, these planes are. We've built the airport or the runway, sorry, to be long enough to be able to take off and land in Minecraft. So it's sort of a runway to scale. In real life, obviously this runway would have to be an awful lot longer for the size of these planes. But in Minecraft, we can land and take off in it perfectly. It's a really good distance for us to be able to brake on and stuff. So I'm not too worried about it. If we had the runway at a realistic length, it would nearly be the length of the entire island, which just wouldn't make sense when you looked at it, would it? It just wouldn't make sense at all. But anyway, I think, guys, we're going to really leave it there. Episode 200 will be the next world to episode 200. Can you believe that? Wow. It's already the longest running series on the channel now. This is beating the first series of Let's Build a City that I think went to episode 153 or something around there. So already like 20 episodes longer. I think when you get to 200 episodes in a playlist, it caps out the playlist. So on my channel, we'll have to have a Let's Build a City Season 2 Part 1 and a Let's Build a City Season 2 Part 2. We'll have to have 2 playlists for this series alone. Isn't that crazy? It's going to be absolutely nuts. Alright guys, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you've got any ideas, leave them down in the comment section below. It's the perfect time to suggest ideas for other parts of the city on a world tour episode. So if you've got something that you think I've totally forgotten about, or something that you think I can improve on, just put it down in the comment section. I'll be watching them very closely. See you guys in the next one. Bye! I don't know what all these are. I think that must be some sort of... Are they the dogs? I need to uninstall that train mod. I might do that really, really soon because that's driving me nuts. Bye!